Everybody's a pro from the sidelines, including me. It's so easy on this side to see that ball. That ball would have been out. That ball would have been out.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many balls that people hit. They'll be standing on the back line and hit one, above their waist, and the ball would have been 3 feet out.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I got
I want to get my bucket. How do I have a completely empty bucket?
Huh? Yeah, I was surprised too. That where are the balls?
Okay, you want me to give you a lesson here?
Actually, since she scheduled this like 2 weeks ago, I'm gonna go ahead and give her a lesson. Is that all right?
Well, you're getting off easy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you think you'd like to work on?
Accuracy of where my ball goes. So, and I know a lot of times I hit it, it's going out at the back. And then I think I'm probably turning my paddle because of where it ends up going. So,
What you just showed me is exactly the reason why it's going the other places.
and
All
then lately, some of the people I'm playing with are really good, and they just slams back to me. I mean, I've had it hit me in the chest and stuff. I don't react quick enough.
No one's going to react if they hit a ball. You hit a ball up there, you can't react quick enough because it's coming back to you 3 times faster than you hit it.
Okay.
So the couple of things that I've been pounding on people on recently are these 5 big mistakes. They're even written down.
Okay, slow down, move back. When you serve that, I've been doing that. Finally, after 8 months.
You started moving back?
Yeah. Stay with your partner. That is something 2 women told me last week. They did a clinic with you.
Right.
I didn't know that. I always thought you get up to the kitchen line as soon as you can, but you really need to wait for your
Well, yes to both of those things.
Okay.
I'll go through them briefly, and then we'll go through them all.
Okay.
The first thing in that, if I jumped on here because you said stay with your partner, I believe that you stay with your partner once you get to your partner. All right. So
Okay.
let's talk about first that when we're serving, both of us are back here. All right. When the return comes back, only one of us has to stay here.
Right.
So that I believe, and everybody teaches a little differently, but I believe that as soon as you know who's going to hit the ball, the other person should get to the line.
And that's kind of what I've been doing.
All right. My big thing is now you go to that line and I'm back here and that return comes to me. When I hit the next ball, I want to get to the line. I believe once you get to the line with your partner, you should stay with your partner.
Then if one moves back, you go.
One moves back, both go back. One goes sideways, we both go sideways. This line means absolutely nothing. There's no your side, my side. We should be about 3.5 feet apart, and we should always be 3.5 feet apart. So, and once we get together, we should stay together. But we shouldn't get together back there because we're both going to be in trouble.
Right, right.
We should get up here and then only move back when we absolutely have to. All right, so that's a big one. The first thing that I want everybody to do is just slow down. We all get excited. The first portion of slowing down is when we serve. I see a lot of this. I'm really big on getting out of the 3-foot circle around yourself and looking over the whole court, right? So I see a lot of people come back here, stand about 2 feet in there. They do this. They never look at you, they just serve. Well, you're not in a position to be where you want to be. By slowing down, I should get myself set. I should look over at my partner and see if you're where we need to be at. Because after I serve, that next ball's got to bounce.
Right.
All right, I see a lot of people that will be up here, then a good return comes, so they've got to back all the way up and then hit a half volley, which isn't a control shot, just to get it back over the net. And now, all of a sudden, we're both stuck back here again, and both of our opponents have made it up to the non-volley zone line, and we're stuck. At that point, now we start hitting these high balls, they get smashed back at us, we're trying to force our way up there, and we get crushed. So the first thing is slowing down on everything. We slow down, we look at our partner. I see a lot of people try to be here. Literally, you'll see me get way back here to where I do this. That's as far as I want to be, because I can come forward a lot easier than I can go back. So I start my serve from about here. I want my partner behind the line because we're waiting for that next ball to come back there. All right, so what I'd like to do is just really briefly on each step, I do want to see, because I don't think I've seen you serve a lot. I do want to go over and let you just serve several to me. And we'll kind of start there and move forward. I am not real big on changing people's grips.
I go like this.
It's perfectly fine.
But it's not going to land in between. I'm up too high.
Probably, but we can adjust that.
Okay.
We can
So I
adjust
go
that.
there and sit.
Actually, stay over here. Stay on this side, Wendy. I'll go over here. That's fine. That's fine. A little more lower body. Step into it, and you'll find that you're driving a little bit. And don't worry about this net right now. I don't mind if they're going into that. I just want to see the motion that you're doing. Okay? Hold on. Don't hit it back, just serve again. One more. I have no problem with your serve.
More than 9 times out of 10 once in a while
I'm perfectly fine with 90% of my serves getting in.
Yeah.
The big thing I like about your serve, and I'm going to talk about your return of serve next, is the fact that they were deep.
That's what I've been trying to get.
Because the deeper you can keep me, the better off I am.
Right.
Since you don't have a lot of power behind it,
Right.
I have to let it bounce.
Right.
So if you keep me back there, then you're in good shape.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the return, and we'll do that on this court too until we'll get over here in a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to serve to you and see how you return.
Okay.
All right, first.
Okay.
I want you to think in everything we do that we're really playing a game. And I have a partner and where that partner would be. Because right now we're serving, so both of us would be deep right now. All right?
Okay.
I'm gonna serve again. One more. So let's talk about what happens on the return.
Right.
All right. Your forehand's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I mean, your backhand, we need a little work on there.
Right.
Your backhand's a little bit of wristy, and I'll show you how to. I'm going to show you how to fix that in a second.
Okay.
You don't have to change your grip to change it.
Okay.
The only balls that we can control are balls where our opponent has to let them bounce.
Right.
So there's 3 times that happens. Our serve has to bounce, so we have complete control. If I hit it short, I'm going to bring my opponent up right up here to the line. I don't want to do that. If I hit my serve nice and deep, they got to stay back there and hit it. The return of serve, not only do they have to stay back there and hit it, but if I'm really thinking, I will put my return of serve as deep as possible, dead center. Because what happens most of the time is then both of them will stay back there until they decide who's going to hit it.
Right.
You really get into the mental portion of the game of what starts to happen is if I'm serving to you, where's your partner?
Up here.
They're up, right?
Yeah.
And where do you want to go?
Up.
Right? Here's what happened. When I served to you, you returned and went about halfway.
Yeah.
Your return wasn't bad. It was reasonably deep. It was reasonably soft. You had all the time in the world, but only took 2 of the 5 steps that you needed to take. Does that make sense? It is really, no matter our height,
Yeah.
it is only about 5 steps from that back line to this front line
Okay.
if we're moving forward.
Okay.
So if I hit to you deep
Yeah.
and you're set up properly, which you were behind the line, as soon as you hit it, you should start coming forward. You know, and you don't even have to run. Just a little bit of hustle and you'll be surprised the way you were hitting your returns, how quickly you can get to the line.
Yeah.
So what I want to do now is I'm going to serve to you.
Okay.
You're going to return. I'm simply going to catch it and say stop. I want you to look at where I am and where you are when I say stop.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Your target, I'm going to put the cart right on the middle of that section. Your target is to try to drop it into the cart. Can I interrupt you guys for 1 second? If you played with one of the outdoor balls, because this is an outdoor surface, you would get a considerably higher bounce and it might help you guys a little bit.
One more time if we play
Those
with
are
Wait, wait.
inside though, and these are out.
Correct.
Okay.
This is an outdoor surface.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's what,
Oh.
yeah, so your balls are bouncing about 3 inches lower than they probably would on the basketball court, which
I
is the
didn't know
indoor.
that.
Yeah, we use an out.
Sorry. I knew.
Yeah, it's no problem.
But
No problem.
I had no idea, but I like
Huge difference.
This is an indoor. We
Yeah.
were playing with these.
Yeah,
It really wasn't helping us.
It'll bounce a little higher because this is an outdoor surface, even though we're technically inside.
Now I know that.
Yeah. Stop. See where you're at? Can you see where you're at? Halfway. I want you to mentally think that as soon as you hit it, but after you hit it
Right.
to get to that line before I say stop.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Stop. All right. See where that short return put me? You're almost to the line, which is where I want you, but because you hit short, I'm way up here. All right. I also hit to your backhand and you wanted to run around it. All right. So, which is fine until you get super comfortable with it. But think about trying, get there. Do me a favor. We're going to switch for a second. I want you to serve to me.
Okay.
I'm going to return. I want you to catch it.
Okay.
All right. And say stop when you catch it.
Okay.
That's one's all you need. Look where you're at. See how deep you are? I walked. I didn't even hustle. I just walked. Now, my partner and I are both standing here. You and your partner are both back there. What are you going to do? That makes sense? And on that ball, here's the other thing that happens. When I hit that nice deep return, even though it's soft, I don't have to hit it hard.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if I hit it hard, I have less time to get up to the non-volley zone line than if I hit it soft like that.
Right.
All right. By hitting this deep, if you're standing anywhere but back here, you don't have a real shot to hit. Because if this ball hits the line or close, it's all you can do is a half volley,
Right.
and that ball is just going to shoot off your paddle,
Yeah.
because you're not placing it. You're just trying to get it back over because your weight's going back,
Right.
your momentum's going back, everything is happening is going backwards,
Wrong direction.
and when you go backwards, that paddle automatically lifts up. If we're stepping forward, our weight transfer from back to front, we actually can come through the ball, and I've seen it. You've got a good front, you've got a good forehand,
Yeah.
but if you're going like this, the ball's naturally going up.
Okay.
So that part of that thing, move back,
Yeah.
is on the return. You want to be as far back as you're comfortable.
Right.
And if I do hit one short, then you're going right where you want to go. You're already moving towards the
Right.
non-volley area.
Okay.
All right? All right, I'm going to serve to you again.
Okay.
I want you to hustle up there. Ideally, your ball would land in here. I'm okay with you being a little harder, but look where you're at. If that ball had dropped 2 inches shorter, I'm clear back here, and you're up there, which is right where you want to be at. Let's try one more. Little lit. Go back and do it again. It's all right. Now, and again, there wasn't a lot of hustle there. You just walked forward, hit the ball, and all of a sudden you're standing right at the non-volley zone line, which is right where you want to be at. And I'm behind the baseline. I've now got to do what mostly everybody here does, hit the ball back hard,
Yeah.
and you're standing there. Yeah, and you're going to put it right away. I can stand back there behind that baseline and hit it as hard as I want at you, and you're going to be able to hit every one of those balls. Now, if I'm here and I hit it hard, that's a different shot. You don't have much time to react. But from behind the line, I've seen you. You can get those balls. You know, even if I do hit it hard. So now I've got to decide, I got to start trying to do the third thing, which my serve, I'm in control because it has to bounce.
Right.
My return, I'm in control because it has to bounce.
Right.
If I can hit it into the non-volley zone,
Yeah.
that ball now also has to bounce. That gives me time to get up here and get even with you.
You can hit it, you just keep stepping so I can lean.
Right, if you can lean forward, pull it out of the air, that's perfectly
What
fine.
happens if you hit it and then you kind of step into it?
It's a fault,
It
you
is
lose.
a fault.
It is a fault.
Okay.
It's absolutely a fault.
Okay.
Not only is it a fault, let's say that, and I see it a lot on overheads, right? I come up here, I'm right here, I hit this big overhead, and it's definitely a winner. It bounces and goes and hits the wall. And my momentum does this, and then this, it's a fault, even if you couldn't get to it.
Okay.
If I hit you with it and fall into the kitchen, it's a fault. Make sense? All right. I want you to serve again. I'm going to hit it back to you. I want you to go ahead and play the very next ball. Try to come to my side. We're not going to play singles yet. All right? Don't be sorry. Both of those balls you hit would have come back at you pretty hard, no matter who you're playing with.
It's up too high, and then I don't know why. It's like that person's the target, so I got to hit it right to them. It's like I have all that space, and I hit it direct to them.
I don't know if you play with Bonnie at all. Bonnie Young, older Asian lady.
Yes.
It's funny, she took some lessons, and it took me probably 30 minutes to realize that every ball, no matter where I would go on the court, she would hit it right back at me. And then she would say sorry if she hit one like you just did as a winner, right?
Yeah.
And then I asked her, I said, Bonnie, do you understand that you're trying, I mean, if you want to win, the idea is to hit it away from me and make me move.
Right.
And then she explained to me, she goes, she played with her husband, Hank, she goes, well, my job is to set him up. My job is to make him look good. My job isn't to, so there was a cultural thing with her that she had to realize that she was allowed to win.
Yeah.
She was allowed to hit good shots.
Oh my gosh.
So, and that's what I would tell you is, you don't have to hit it right to me.
Right.
But if you do hit that pop-up, and we are going to move over here now to the dreaded section, is if you, I don't care how old I am, little Jeff who's 83, right? You hit me that ball, it's coming back at you hard,
Yeah.
right? Because you can put it in front of me, and then I do have to wait. Putting the ball in front of me over here makes a lot more sense than popping it up to where I can hit it as hard as I want, all right? Let's talk about one of the main reasons why the ball is going off in multiple directions.
Okay.
All right, it's not your grip, it's how firmly you're holding your wrist.
Okay.
Because if we use our legs,
Right.
we can move the paddle 6 inches without moving the paddle in any way, shape, or form. If we use our body to be part of our swing, we're much more in control of where the paddle head in fact is.
Then this is why.
If we're using our wrist, all of a sudden, I mean, it's like, it's from here to here, I moved 12, 14 inches, but the paddle face stayed relatively in the same spot. I can move this a quarter of an inch, and all of a sudden the ball is going out. So a lot of this flipping and you know, wand waving is what I call it, that's why the ball is going multiple directions. It's very, very difficult to make anything consistent moving it that much, that fast. So if we put our body into the shots and keep that paddle face pointing into the court, we'll be much better off than if we start trying to get our power, and that's what's happening. You're trying to get your power, and most of us do, from our arm and then our wrist,
Right.
and that's not where the power comes from. Do you notice that you start hitting them wider and wider as you get more tired and tired?
Yeah.
As we get tired, when we're only using our arms, our wrist becomes even more important, and we start using it more, and then the paddle face isn't pointing where we want it. We're just using it to smack the ball, and it's going all over the place. If we get our lower body
Yeah.
involved early, we're going to have more stamina
Okay.
and we're going to have more control. So, and it's that
So,
weight.
rather than a stance like
Yeah, the other thing I'll tell you, Wendy, is at our age, there's very little I want to change major about our games because we're already comfortable. It's like, you've got a good grip. I got people, I've got 11-year-olds, I'll change their grip because they haven't got it ingrained in their brain.
Right.
But you've played some racket sport before this, just as the first one. But I don't want to, you start changing something that's already ingrained in our memory,
Right.
it's not going to make a
this?
difference.
Right. Okay.
Little things like going from this, which is all arm, to a simple pivot, and it's only 1 foot to start with. A pivot will put the power that we want into that ball, but also keep that paddle face. We never want it wider than the outside line, and we never want it wider than the other side, the other line. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so it literally is just a step.
Okay.
If you put your weight on that back foot and then roll through, that will put the power you need on it. It also starts you moving forward, which is what you want. So especially, if it's on our return, we're allowed to go up there to the non-volley zone.
Right.
We hit our return, we take that first step, we only got 4 more steps and we're there.
Right.
If our first step is backwards, all of a sudden we've added 2 and we're not going to get there. So starting back, stepping through, and then moving forward. I see a lot of running and hitting at the same time. We don't want that.
Yeah. I do that.
Yeah.
Running up to it and moving, hitting it,
Right.
and moving it.
Yeah. Slowing down, hitting the ball, and using that natural motion to make that next step happen makes a big difference.
Okay.
All right? I don't care how many times you hit the net.
Okay.
All right. Right now, and I'm also okay if I serve to you,
Yeah.
for you to go like this, put it over that top one and have it drop into the back. All right?
Yep.
Either one works. The middle never works. The middle gets smacked.
Right. Yes.
All right. I'm gonna serve to you. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Come over it and have it laying back here right in this bucket. All right. Here's the thing to remember though. Every time you hit it, where do you want to be at before I can hit it? Not just forward, all the way to that line. All right?
So question. So I hit it, lob it way back.
Yep.
What if you lob it back and I'm up here?
That's a really good question. And here's my answer to that.
Let it go.
First of all, yes. Secondly, I teach what I call 51% pickleball.
Yeah.
You only have to win 51% of your rallies to win the game. How many people do you know in this building that can get a lob consistently in?
I haven't seen it much.
It doesn't happen much.
Okay.
So first I would say, always thinking at our age, safety first, all right? We're over 30, so we're a little slower. Okay, yeah, okay.
Injuries, past injuries, all kinds of
Right,
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, if they lob me,
Yeah.
I may go get it. I'm not going to advise you to go get a lob,
Yeah.
all right? Unless it's a lob you absolutely can get to and you're comfortable with it.
Right.
Until they get it in 2 or 3 times, I don't care.
Yeah.
And again, they will lob you once, all right?
Yeah.
And it may drop in once. But I also bet you the same person tries to lob you 4 times, 3 of them's going to be out. And you won 3 points, 3 rallies, they only won 1, you win. right? If you start to see that motion for a lob, take a step back. Take it, 1.5 steps back. Never straight back. It's never like this, where our whole momentum is driving us back to a concussion. It's a split step, and then it's going back. All right. If your partner, it depends on who it goes over to. If you're here and I'm here, and the lob goes over your head, I should be the one to get it. Because all I've got to do is take a quarter turn, go back here, and then I'm hitting a forehand. If you go back and you're hitting this, A, it's not going to be a good shot. B, it's not safe. So same thing, if it goes over my head, you can take a quarter turn and go back and try to hit your backhand. Always let it bounce. Always let the lob bounce. We see a lot of this. All right? And especially, I see a lot of this. That ball would have been out. Let's see if it's going to go out. If I turn for a lob and I come back here and I'm watching it and it bounces and it's in, I'm already back here. I'm just going to hit it. If it goes out, I won the rally, so I don't need to hit it. So I will tell you that while the two things I try to teach is squeezing the middle and squeezing this line, the two questions that come up are, well, what if they lob me? And what if they go down the line? That's where the 51% comes in. They've got to get it in an awful lot before I worry about it. What I see a lot of is I see a lot of people being right here, and they're beat all in this area because it's at their feet and it's the hardest place to hit a ball. I see people worried about this line, you're worried about that line, and the ball goes down the middle and nobody hits it. I can miss this line by 10 feet, literally by 10 feet, and it's still in, right? Because it's 10 feet from this line to that line. I can only miss that line by 1/8 of an inch and it's out. So let them hit the hero shot. The hero shot, great shot. Great shot, Beth. You got me one time, but you didn't get me down the middle 4. All right? You didn't catch me. If I hit that nice soft return way back there deep and I get all the way up here, I will tell you at the beginning, before your partners you play with regularly realize what's happening, they're going to keep hitting the ball and you're going to start being the one smashing it back because you're not waiting here. Because right now what's happening, ball's coming back, you're here. If you do get it back, it's a half volley and that ball's going up there. And then it's getting smashed back. It's serve, return, badminton. And
it's got to be.
yeah, so that ball over this net, perfectly fine, because I can't hit it, right? Until it bounces, and it's generally over my head. The ball under the net is low enough that you've got some control over it, right? And I've got to then be defensive. The ball in this whole section right here, I don't have to jump, I don't have to be athletic, I just have to swing my paddle. So over it or under it works really well. Your return over it gives you time to get all the way up here. And then I've got to get it past you. I've got to hit a beautiful lob, which is really hard to get it in, to get it over you, which isn't going to happen most of the time. Most of the time I'm going to hit it to where you can just smack it back. All right? All right, I'm going to serve to you again. A little harder. Go ahead and hit that out of the way. I got it. It's all right. I got another one. A little hard. Look where you're at. Where were you? All the way forward. A little too hard. I'm okay with that. Look where you're at. Yeah, as long as you recognize that. Your comfort level right now is 2.5 steps. Every ball you've hit, no matter how you hit it, you've stopped in when you. I'm going to send you a link to the video, right?
Okay.
Every ball, you come here and you're ready. You come here and you're ready for the next ball.
But I could have been.
Yes,
Okay.
your game will completely change if you take. A lot of people I say they're 1 step from greatness. You're 2 steps from greatness. Just 1, 2, and you're here, and your whole world opens up. Actually, let's do something else. Come up to the line. I want to show you something. Okay, one of the things that a lot of people get into is, how do I know I'm close enough? Okay, first of all, right now you're not close enough. Okay, now you're almost close enough. Now you're close enough.
Can you touch the white line?
You can't touch it, but I want you as close as possible. Now I'm going to show you something as to, well, you can know without ever looking down that you're there.
Yeah.
All right? It's funny for me because at my height, it'll be a little different, but I'm going to show you no matter what happens. Every person you play against is the same height to the middle of their calf. After that, it's different. I mean, I'm different than the guy over here. I'm different than who you play against up here.
Yeah.
But from here to here, we're all the same.
Okay.
All right? So I want you to show you something. I know that right now, I'm almost perfect where I want to be, and I never look down. You know why? When I'm right here, your line completely disappears behind this when I look down.
So I just have to know for my height.
Exactly. So your height, it's going to be the top of my shoes. You can see pretty much the top of my shoes, right? All right. Go back to where your perfect spot so far is about right there. How much more can you see right now? All right. You can't hit to there because it's underneath the net. Right there. No matter who. Now we go over here. Just sidestep over to here. Without looking down. You can see. You can see the line and my feet, right? You also know, now if I'm here, you can see the difference because you can see the line without my feet. When you start to recognize that I know I'm in the right spot, like I know I'm in the right spot, I also know this net's a little tight. I can guarantee you, I could get my ruler right now, this net's a little tight because I'm standing here and I can see your line. I guarantee you that this is about 36 inches and it should be 34. Someone has tightened this net up a little bit. It may have been because I put these things up that may have tightened it. But once you get that picture in your mind and you start to realize that, okay, I know I'm in the right spot because at your height, I can see Wendy's shoes. I don't have to worry about the line. I don't have to look down. I know that, and if I do this, I'm in trouble. If I start looking all the way down, I can't see what's happening. But if I do this and I can see your shoes, I know I'm in the right spot. If I'm back here and I can see half the court, I'm in the wrong spot because they can now hit all this spot in front of me. Does that make sense? All right, I'm going to serve again. I want to return. I want you to get all the way up there.
Okay.
All right? Come all the way forward. I don't care. I don't care it didn't go through. I just want you to come up and get ready at that spot. Right there. And get ready. All right? We're going to do it again. I don't care if you hit the net or you don't hit the net. Let's go over here because the net's an issue right now. The only thing in mind is you want to be up there before I hit the ball. That was all wrist. Stop. Look where you're at. You're pretty darn close. And now I've got to come up with a shot that either gets past you, which is really, really hard, through you, which is almost impossible, or I got to start learning to drop it in front of you to get it even. All right? If I put you back in that middle, I've got a lot more options. Now I can drop a ball here, there, in front of you. If you're up there, my options become very, very limited. All right, we're going to do several more of those. That was great. Sometimes I have to see you do something multiple times before I realize what's happening.
Yeah.
So the reason that ball is going off to the side is your contact point.
Okay.
Instead of using your body to go through,
Yeah.
you're doing this. You're going and then you're hitting,
Yep.
and that's exactly where it's going. It's going off that side.
Okay.
Instead of waiting, again, slowing down, because yes, we want to get there, but until we hit it, it doesn't matter. So slowing down to get the shot, aim towards the middle, our contact point of the ball in front of us, not beside us. Then we can start directing the ball towards the middle of the court.
So I get too close.
Yeah, you're running up and then kind of taking a paddle shot through there. You know, it's almost like a canoe thing where you're right beside it and you're pushing it off to the side. Exactly. So hit it, let your momentum come through instead of running and hitting at the same time. All right?
Okay.
Okay? And again, not a lot of hustle. Didn't need a lot of hustle, but look where you're at. You're right there. Now I've got to do something with that ball. All right? Do it again. Stop. You didn't go fast enough, but you're closer. You know, and you hit it plenty deep that now I'm here. You've still got a little time before the ball gets back to you to get set. You know, stopping and watching, you are stopping yourself in the hardest spot on the court to hit the ball. Oh, I'm perfectly okay with it being long because you can always bring it back a little bit. But you're now at that line. If you didn't walk forward and hit it as quickly as you did and you waited for it to come to you a little bit, that ball would have been probably closer to being in. Let's hit some of the other side. Perfect. All right? You're much more comfortable on that side, aren't you? It appeared so, yeah. It's all right. Stop. Hey, again, you're not running. You just decided to come forward. On those last three balls, you just decided to go ahead and take the other two steps. No matter which one of those you hit, before I hit it, you were here. That will make a huge difference in your game. Huge difference. All right? Yeah, and again, hitting the ball behind you, you cannot get the paddle face around to hit it straight. I mean, you're trailing yourself. All contact points should be in front of you. That way you're actually controlling where the ball goes. Because back here, I mean, there's just very little places you can hit the ball. You can't get around your own body at that point. You know, so you're going off to the side with it. You know, it just taking that step and bringing it through and making sure the contact point is in front of you allows you to start directing the ball. Let's go back over here and hit some balls in the non-volley zone. I'll be over there, yeah.